Comedy, mushroom, cult, podcast. Hell yeah. We're here. It's Tuesday, July 16th, the first day of Prime Day. So if you want to make sure that you buy cheap Chinese goods for a marginally less amount of money for the next 48 hours, go do it. Kind of disappointed in Prime Day so far. There's one thing that I've wanted to buy, and I've been hanging out waiting for Prime Day, and like the deal's like, hey, it's gonna be $15 off, and it's like, hey, we live in a like pretty high inflation world, Bezos. You've made enough money off of me for the last few years. How about we like huge slash cut these? All right, you're not losing any money. Because if you guys didn't know, the way that Amazon really works is basically like companies, and I know this because like our company that I was selling cars at looked at like selling cars on Amazon for like a hot second. Is a bad idea. Or even like car parts, they were looking at doing it. It was like an idea of like whatever. The people don't own the car dealership anymore. It was like a multi-generational family business, and this lady's not good at business. She's good at being pretty and drinking a lot of alcohol and doing Vyvanse. So I mean, good for her on that. Like and she came out doing okay. Like she ended up making some pretty good money off of the sale because she was technically the owner, but not really. But anyways, one of the great ideas that she had was to try to sell cars on Amazon, which on the surface, not a terrible idea. It was early in the game, but it turns out like Amazon gets like 30% or something crazy. So like they just charge you a percentage. It's almost like how Walmart works, but like in the stores, like they don't own like the product. Like a lot of retail stores or like grocery stores, they buy the product from the company and then put it on the shelves and then sell it for a markup, like what you think it kind of works out as, you know, how you think like a store should work. But instead, like Walmart and Amazon are really selling like a logistics situation. Hi, Petey. Oh, he's a little boy. I was going to wait, but so yeah, it charges 30%. So like when they're cutting the prices, they're basically cutting the prices for this company and then like not charging them the other 15%. So like you're paying the same amount for a piece of something. It's just like the company, like Amazon's not making their giant cut off of whatever they did. But yeah, so there's that. Prime Day's a sham. And like I've been looking at electric scooters because I mean I've been walking to Mike's, I've been walking to the Metro or the CTA. Hold on. We got ambulances and shit always to our apartment. It's okay, PD. You can lay back down. But like so we got like the CTA or the L, or I still call it the Metro because I took DC's Metro fucking 10 years ago. Oh, almost made it 5 minutes. Like I took theirs first and it's just stuck. It makes more sense. I don't know. It's the L. It's the CTA. It is whatever you want it to be. But I've been looking at electric scooters because there's like some places that like I could take the bus, but then it's like the same amount of time as if I'm walking, and then I feel kind of lazy. But then it's been like 1,000,000 degrees in Chicago the last couple weeks. It's July in Chicago. It's gonna be hot. Like I'm not bitching about that, but like I don't want to wear like athletic shorts to the open mics. It doesn't really matter, it's open mics, but I'm still new here. I want to put on a good like I want to put a good face to it. And I don't usually wear shorts on stage or in a corner or wherever, but like it's 90 degrees and I got to walk there. You're going to have to deal with it. But there's ones that are like in between metro stops or in between bus stops where like even if you take the bus, like I have a bus stop right outside of my apartment. There's a Fall Out Boy line that I can't remember exactly, so I was going to say it. The world outside my door is paved with good intentions. Okay, there we go. Jeez, wow. Adderall hasn't kicked in yet, apparently. But So, like, I could take the bus and then walk, like, a block. But, like, then you're still getting sweaty. So I was looking at electric scooters so I could just, like, hop on it. And then when it's, like, hot out, or even when it's nighttime. And, like, I understand I'm a big, strong man. I should be able to defend myself. I have a knife on my backpack. But, like, Zoltan Kazas has a very funny joke of, like, his wife is afraid of him getting stabbed on the subway, so he should have a knife. And it's like, okay, so what? Now we're both gonna hurt me? Like, I'm gonna end up hurting myself with this knife. Like, what am I gonna do? Get stabbed by me and the person? Like, now there's two knives in this fight that are gonna be used against me. And it's the same thought. Like, I have it. Like, if anybody challenges me or, like, it wants to do something crazy, like, some guy was, like, picking fights with people in traffic. Like, he was sitting on his bike, like, literally right in front of cars, and somebody beeped their horn, and he, like, hit the car and was like, I'm fucking and he was like a weird, like, I could have taken this guy. I'm not worried about everybody. Like, I'm not a big, strong, tough guy at all. I was kidding when I said that before. But, like, I could handle myself against some people, and I could handle myself against this guy. Like, we're not going to go into the specifics, because he didn't look exactly like me. So I don't want it to, like, be seen as some sort of weird thing. But no, like, he, like, was picking fights with people in traffic, and then, like, almost ran me over on his bike, and I, like, gave him a look, and it was 100 degrees yesterday, with the heat index, so, like, everybody's in a pissy mood. I got in an argument. I just argue with old ladies now. That's what I do. I just get mad at them, because they're so fucking entitled. Like, I understand that I'm a straight white male and I've been in charge of everything, but, like, and I don't want this to be taken, don't hit women, but, like, you understand when, like, you're a group of people who doesn't have, like, any children, you shouldn't hit them, animals, you shouldn't hit them, other people, generally, you shouldn't hit them, but, like, you can always tell somebody who's been in a fight before, or who has been hit when they fucked up, and I know we've talked about this at some point, but, like, when you can walk through life and you can tell that there hasn't been that, like, legitimate threat of violence, or you don't know, like, the consequences of popping off to anybody, and I think that's, like, that's my problem with these, like, old white women walking around these days. Like, nobody's gonna hit them. They're frail. If you touch them, they'll turn to dust. So, like, please don't hit them. We don't want them to be hit. We just watched a thing on Netflix about this lady who got beat up by this guy, and, like, he, like, killed her just by, like, hitting her in the ribs. Like, you don't want that. All right? We don't want anybody to die. We don't want any violence. But what we want is somebody to, like, approach people like they're going to, like, they might get some violence put upon them. Like, I'm not going to go up to somebody, a stranger. Like, I had my backpack sitting, and I even made sure it was under my chair, but, like, a strap was an inch out. And this lady, like, beelined to me, and it was a hallway. Like, she had enough room to get to the bathroom. And she's like, excuse me, your bag could have tripped me. And I was like, you had all the room in the fucking world to go over there and to, like, walk around it. Like, first of all, say, hey, could you please move your bag? That's no problem. I've got zero problem doing that. Yeah, you're right, no problem. But when you come over and you're like, your bag could have tripped me, and I don't want to trip over it. Okay, don't fucking trip over it. You obviously saw it, and you have the other 10 feet to your left to walk around it. Hey, maybe say something on your way out, like, hey, your bag's sticking out. Hey, no problem. I'll move it over. You know what? There's a way to go about it. And that's what I love about being in a spot where, like, I'm allowed to make that argument with a person. Like, if I did that in Wisconsin, like, this exchange that I had with this lady, and I know it's the next day and I'm still talking about it, but that's my fucking job. All right? I'm supposed to, like, take these things and talk about them. Oh, this is my life. This is my point of view. But, like, I'm observing and reporting. I'm very important to society. But no, like, if you would have just been like, hey, please move it over, and especially if it's in Wisconsin. I've talked about it before. Like, a lady in Wisconsin told me I'm mentally deranged because, like, I sat at a 4-top table by myself waiting for somebody to ask me to move. I would have had no problem moving if you asked me to move nicely. But when you look at me, like, disgusted and, like, all fucking passive-aggressive, I'm gonna sit there and be a dickhead about it, right? So yesterday, same thing. She comes over, she starts aggressively. Like, I haven't even talked to this woman. All she had to do was be like, hey, could you move that over? I even took the time to make sure that my bag was as far away out of the way as possible. So, like, I tried. And then she comes over and she's just like, hey, your bag's gonna fucking kill everybody in this bar. It's like nobody else has had a problem with it. You're the only person of the 20 people who have walked by that has said anything about it because you just decided to pick a fight with somebody because you're old and you're not afraid to get hit in the face. And you know? And I told her to go, like, I didn't tell her to go fuck herself. I just was like, hey, first of all, say please. You can be nice. And then she's like, okay, please move your bag out of the way. And I was like, no, I'm not going to move it. It's perfectly fine where it is. You're being unreasonable. Leave me alone. And then she flicked me off because I wasn't dealing with her bullshit anymore. And do you know what? I loved it. This is like, I would much rather, was I mad? No. Was I like mildly annoyed? Sure. And like, even afterwards, I was like, if she comes out of the bathroom and doesn't have like an attitude about her still, like if she just like got caught up in the moment and I got caught up in the moment and we have a conversation that's maybe a little aggressive, we could fix this. I can apologize. I can be like, hey, you know what? I could have just moved my bag over a little bit. Sorry it escalated. And she would have been like, do you know what? You're right. Like, I was a little testy about it too. I have a problem tripping over bags. I have a balance issue. We could have figured it out. Hi, PD. It's okay. Come up here and lay down. And, but like, she came out of the bathroom and just mean mugged me and then just like sat at the bar looking mean. So I think she was looking for a fight of some sort. Like she didn't get her attention for the day, so she wanted to do that. But like, I don't know, I guess I'm just like fighting old ladies now. That's just what I do. And I think that's a good demographic to go after. Like, I used to be a dickhead to people all the time. And I think if I could just channel it to like white women of a certain age, I don't think anybody would be upset with that. Like, anybody who reminds me of Hillary Clinton, that's who I can get in a fight with. I guess we'll talk about Trump later. I don't know. Whatever. We're like, there's two ways that it can go. And I don't want it to be a long thing because, like, whatever. Everybody's got their take. It's Tuesday by now. It's kind of old at this point. I'm more, like, the RNC is in Milwaukee and the Teamsters guy did a chat about it. And, like, what are the Democrats going to do when the Teamsters endorse Trump? Are they going to be like, well, the Teamsters are terrible? When, like, the Teamsters over the last 120-some years have only endorsed Democrats, are they going to be like, the Teamsters don't care about workers or America? And, I mean, it's kind of like their whole thing. So I'm very interested. I'm more interested in that. Like, I'm more interested on how the Democrats are going to respond. Because I know that it seems like I pile on the Democrats. I just know them better because I've worked with them and I am one and I care what they put forward to the world and I think that they're the better choice. But you're not doing yourself any sort of favors at all. And I think it's on purpose. Like, at this point, you can't, like, when the 76ers tanked to get, like, Embiid and all of them way back in the day, and it was, like, trust the process. Like, I think they're trust the processing it, where they're like, what we're going to do is we're going to let fascism take over, and then we're going to just let it take over. You know, like, it's very weird. I don't even know what their second step is. I think that they think they're smarter than they are. And I'm, like, reading a book about Alan Dulles, who was like one of the first people of the CIA, and it's kind of like that same thing of like, yeah, he cared more about communists than Nazis, and I think that's kind of what, like, the Democrats are more worried about Donald Trump than the actual, like, they don't want somebody, and I don't like Donald Trump, so if this sounds like a positive towards him, I don't like him, I don't want him to be president. I listened to a podcast where they were like, Donald Trump just is a good time guy, he wants golf courses and casinos and people to spend money, and like, that's the problem, right? Like, I'm completely against, and I mean, unless you're gonna spend money on me, like, give me money, I'll spend it better than you'll spend it. And that sounds like a robber baron. That sounds like a Donald Trump thing to say, and I think maybe that's why I hate him, is because, like, I understand that I think we would say a lot of the same things, but he would, like, say it to take power, and I say it facetiously because I don't know, because I think it's funny. I think it's funny that real people think that way. How about that? And it's absurd, so I try to point out the absurdity of it. And maybe that's why I hate him, is because he's like the embodiment of like everything I'm making fun of, and he's successful, and I see my non-success. I think that's what it is. I think we worked this out. A bunch of people saw the Donald Trump assassination as really an assassination of self for themselves. They thought if this picture of American greed and being mean and speaking vitriol into the world and like just using all of like the worst lizard brain part of our brains and our society and being successful when like there's a whole bunch of us who are like doing our best, trying to be nice, trying to do well, and we feel like we're behind. Like, we don't want to see that be successful. We want to see like a good person be successful. We want to see like when we say that we have like morals, or like when people say they read the Bible and stuff like that and take the lessons and put it into action, we want to see those people be successful, the ones that actually preach it and practice what they preach. But when we see like shisty individuals being successful, we hate that, because like, and is he racist, sexist, xenophobic, homophobic? Sure. Yes, all of those things. But that's all added into, like, all those bad feelings that we have. Like, we have all of those feelings. Whether you think you're a perfect person or not, you have those feelings. And then we see somebody embracing those feelings and just diving into those feelings and boiling it down so, like, he gets all those other people who don't want to try, who don't want to do well, who, like, instead of trying their best to get ahead, they just want to be mean and keep other people out of the game, and that's how they're successful. We see that, and we don't want that to happen. And we saw that part of us almost die on Saturday. And we got excited, you know? We were like, hey, it almost killed us, all right? That part of us, a comedian yesterday said it, her joke is, like, she likes getting abortions because it's like a good way to like microdose suicide. Very funny idea. I forget her name. I just met her. She's very funny, very nice. And like the whole joke is more than that, but that's the boiled down version. But that's what we wanted. Like, that's like, at this point, that's what we thought we almost saw. We were like, oh, we don't ever have to worry about this part of our life again. Instead of like fighting it, and like instead of saying that it's bad and acting better and doing better, like we just thought like there was an easy way out of it. And that's why we're disappointed that it didn't happen. And maybe this like near, and they keep saying like he's gonna try to unite people more and try to be like, what they're gonna do is, and this is what the Democrats try to do, like they try to like embrace everybody, and they try, and while they do that, they like sell out their morals and what they're actually trying to do. Where what the Republicans do is they'll be like, hey, I'm a changed man, I just almost got shot in the fucking head, obviously that means a lot of people hate me, maybe I did some self-reflecting, and I'm gonna take a little bit off the fastball, and I'm gonna, like, I'm a 78-year-old man, or however old he is, 76. Like, I'm in my late 70s. There's no need for me. Like, if I'm being that angry, I don't, that where people want to shoot me, like, I've been alive for 70-some years and nobody's tried to shoot me. And now I'm, like, doing this. And maybe that's gonna happen, but they're still gonna like pass like the most terrible things ever. Like, this new like angry Republican thing is kind of like they kind of stole what the Democrats are good at like being angry and like forcing stuff through that they know is gonna piss people off, but it gets the job done. Which the Democrats have never done that. They just like talk like they would, and that's what like I think the Republicans are gonna do. They're gonna do that nice shiny, like they're gonna do the, hey, we're all in this together, we need to unite, we don't need to be, and like they're gonna take a step off the vitriol, and then they're gonna fucking, like, we're gonna have like 80% of Republicans in the Congress after this fall. Okay, let's get this back on track. Scooters. But the point is, I didn't original point, I'm sick of being sweaty going to open mics. That's why I'm looking at electric scooters, and the deals aren't that great. But yeah, fighting old ladies is fun. And don't shoot people. I guess, I don't know. It is kind of punk rock that like we're getting into like shooting people again. Bum 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 bum. Let me check my notes here. I actually had notes for this. We got that. Oh yeah, fucking, like I said, it's been so hot. The last few days, like very, very hot. And I don't know, like the last 2 nights have been like 2 back-to-back nights of like crazy storms. I didn't know that like there were tornado sirens in cities. Like, what the fuck are we supposed to do if a tornado comes like right down fucking Clarendon? Like, we can't do anything about that. Or Michigan Ave, for anybody who's like not familiar with Chicago but like knows Michigan Avenue because of fucking whatever stores on there, Saks or whatever. But like There's a Bubba Gump shrimp downtown somewhere. Like, what do we do if it, like, right down the fucking, Lakeside Path or whatever, Lakeside Freeway or Lakeview, whatever the fuck it's called. I live here. I know what things are called. But, like, what are we going to do if there's a tornado going down there? Like, I'm not going in the basement of my apartment building. Are you kidding me? I'm 2 floors up. Like, I'm not going down to the basement. What am I going to do? Go sit in the lobby and just, like, I'm going to watch it go right down the street and just be like, oh, fuck. Like, I almost died there. Like, and I still think, like, Twisters is coming out, and it doesn't... I know that, like, weather change and climate change is a real thing and that nobody can control the weather, especially the chosen people. All right? We're all on the same page that the Jews don't control the weather. If they did, who made that joke? Somebody made the joke, like, if Jews controlled the weather, there would never be hurricanes in Florida. Very funny joke. It was a Jewish person who made the joke, so it's okay. And like we said at the mic yesterday, the same person with the microdosing suicide joke, I need to learn her name. She's a very nice person. But they were, like, making a Jew joke, and we were laughing, and somebody was like, well, that's anti-Semitic, and then they go, well, I've met a Jew before. And it was just, like, a very funny, like, I have a black friend. Like, yeah, like, we can, whatever. So, I'm friendly with the Jews. I mean, stop killing Palestinians. We could do that. I know Jews aren't doing that. Israel's doing that. So, like, if that's the worst thing that you're... No, I'm just kidding. What a fun heel turn that would be. Like, Donald Trump, not so bad. He's just the bad part of us that we wanted to kill ourselves. So maybe instead of... and, like, Israel, not terrible, you know? Like, they're doing their best. No, that would be a very weird way. Like, just nonchalantly making that heel turn. Sticker Mule, by the way. Like, what the fuck is up with Sticker Mule? What are they doing? Like, they came out with an email yesterday. If you don't know what Sticker Mule is, because you're a normal human being and you have a life where you're not trying to sell cheap stickers or plastic bullshit to pay rent after you say words and then you go in the line and somebody's like, I would like to buy your merch. And you're like, thank you. I paid as little as possible for this, and it's probably going to fall apart after one time in the wash, or it's going to fall off of everything that you stick it on because I bought it from Sticker Mule. And it cost me 2 cents, and you're paying $5 for it. Thank you. And, like, that's how business works. It's fine. Nobody's charging $5 for a sticker. But you understand what I mean. But, like, they made cheap merch that pretty much anybody could get. And then they just sent out an email yesterday of, like, we love Donald Trump. And we're not afraid to say that. And we're not going to hide it anymore. And just, like, everybody was like, great. Now we just have to find a new place to buy stickers? Like, what the fuck? Like, you shot yourself in the foot for absolutely no reason. Like, vote for whoever the fuck you want to vote for. I don't care. And I understand, like, Nike and other companies have been doing that for, like, the left for, like, a while. Like, Nike was paying Colin Kaepernick while he was, like, going through his, like, blackball phase with the NFL, and they're like, well, we don't want to, but, like, Michael Jordan, Republicans buy sneakers too, you know, like, you know, I don't care what the people who make my stickers, I don't give a shit. Nike, I don't give a fuck. Like, even part of me yesterday was like, because they sent the email and they were like, we are, like, a lot of us like Trump, a lot of us like Biden, but, like, I'm the owner of the business and I love Trump and I'm sick of hiding and I think we need to unite. And then in the bottom it was like, hey, here's our deal, $4 t-shirts. And it was like, well, that's actually a really good deal. Like, to get screened t-shirts from an online shop for $4 and free shipping? Like, come on. Like, I might have to buy some fucking screened t-shirts. But no, like, that's, what are you doing? What are you doing? Like, you had, everybody I know basically used Sticker Mule, alright? It was, like, them and, like, nobody else. Like, Vistaprint is, like, the corporate version of it. Like, Sticker Mule was, like, the cheap version, and now I'm gonna have to pay more for fucking stickers because you guys are, God, why does everything have to be terrible? Like, why can't we just be cool for, like, 5 minutes? Like Trump, I don't give a fuck who you voted for. You make cheap stickers, but as soon as you come out and they're like, hey, then I have to. You know, like, I talk to people, and I'm like, that's part of this business now, is we have to, like, pretend that, like, we super care. Like, yes, I care, and I care. Like, I care about society, but, like, be in a green room with most other comics, and they're like, we don't really give a fuck. We just can't say this or we can't say that, like, because then people will be mad at us, and we need people not to be mad at us to give us money. That's the game. Like, that's all it is. And, like, as soon as you're allowed to say words again, they're gonna say it because some of those words are funny. That's all we're looking to do. They don't give a fuck, but we have to, like, just, like, sit on our hands and be quiet just so we can make money and stay in entertainment. And, like, that's all it is. This is the same thing with the sticker game. I don't give a fuck what my sticker person believes. I mean, I understand that these are probably made with, like, some sort of slave labor somewhere. And, like, if you want to get shitty about me saying that out loud, stop using your cell phone, all right? All of that's made with slave labor. Every single one of them. Like, everything you love is made with slave labor. So stop using everything. But, like, we just, like, forget that part of it, okay? It's cheap for a reason. Somebody's not getting paid well enough. The world's a terrible place most of the time. And, like, you just have to move forward with it. And that's fine because the stickers were cheap. And then I can make an extra couple dollars. And then I feel good about myself. But then as soon as you come out and do some, like, public shit, like, if they were to come out and they're like, yeah, we love slave labor. Like, then you have to be like, no. Like, we all knew. We all knew that you love slave labor. When Nike got busted using, like, those slave labor. And, like, everybody's like, well, fuck. Now, like, we knew it. Like, that's why the shoes were $80 instead of $150 like they are now. Like, I liked $80 shoes. I liked $80 Nikes. I could look like I was like I had more money than I do because of slave labor. All right, it was fine. But now that we know for sure, we can't. Like, you know it. We all know it, and we're all going to be like, well, I don't know. And I choose to believe that I do the best that I... You don't. You don't ask where your fucking shit comes from. You just buy it and you move forward. You wait for Obama to fucking sponsor some sort of fucking app on your phone, and then you're like, okay, who made the app? Was it some fucking, like, what do we make the app with? Do we do it with, like, you don't look through it. You don't see where the money's going. You don't give a fuck because you like the thing because Obama did it, right? Fucking Taylor Swift. Like, you like Taylor Swift, you don't give a fuck that she pollutes the world. Oh, she gave her people $100,000 is a drop in the bucket to a billionaire. How many times do you fucking say that shit when it's Jeff Bezos or when it's fucking Elon Musk? And I know they have more billions of dollars, but when we're talking about billions of dollars and you want to be like, well, she only has $1 billion, shut the fuck up. All right? Like, take your high stance. But, like, when Sticker Mule comes out and it's like, we love Donald Trump, and you're like, well, fuck, all right, now I have to find a new place to get stickers, or now I'm just not gonna have stickers because I'm not finding a new place to get stickers. I'm gonna wait for Sticker Mule to send out an email to be like, hey, like Papa John's, they're gonna be like, hey, we fucked up. Papa John said the N-word. We can't do that. Here's Shaq. Shaq is now the face of Papa John's. He owns 1,000 things. They're gonna sell Sticker Mule to, like, I don't know, like the fucking Boys and Girls Club of America, and they're gonna be like, look at all these black kids, they help us sell stickers, like, we're gonna give, like, instead of having computers make these, we teach black youth how to make these. Like, it's still the same people in charge, and the same people are still getting money, but the public face is that we're doing something good. That's what we're gonna have to wait for, and then it's gonna be like, okay, now we can use Sticker Mule again. And it's a cycle, it happens every single time, but why do we even have to fucking do it? Like, what I'm pissed about is we have to go through the fucking cycle. And like, whatever. It's kind of a business move. Like, they're gonna, like, and it's, at this point, that's what makes me the most mad. This is so transparent of, like, hey, we're going to do some stupid shit, so, like, it focuses us in on one niche customers. Like, a bunch of, like, Trump people are gonna buy their stupid Trump t-shirts off of Sticker Mule, and then then Sticker Mule's gonna be like, all right, we tapped out that, like what Bud Light did with Dylan Mulvaney. There's nothing wrong with having a trans spokesperson, but they knew what the fuck they were doing. They're gonna get that niche. They wanted to get into the trans and gay community and see, like, win a battle. And then all of a sudden they're like, oh fuck, that hurt our sales. But, like, they picked up a few sales that they wouldn't have had otherwise. And like, you're going back to Bud Light. And then they, like, hire Shane Gillis, and then they get everybody back. And they're like, okay, fuck us. We, like, Sticker mules didn't, and it's transparent. That's why it's annoying. And anybody who's like shocked by it, like, no, it's not shocking. I get it, like, I'll post it because whatever, that's the job. We have to post it and get like the likes and have like the stupid fake conversation about it because whatever, that's what I get paid to do sometimes. But like, you paying, like, you pretending to be shocked about it, it's like, you're not shocked, you're just annoyed that you have to like pretend that your stickers are going to be less. Oh, I hate Walmart. I hate Amazon. Oh, where'd you get all of your new kitchen shit? Well, you know, they were running a great deal, and I mean, I don't have a lot of money because of businesses like this. Okay, then shut the fuck up. You're gonna still use them. You're not a fucking, like, you're not the moral police. You're just a consumer. They're the producers. They're not even the producers. They're the fucking middlemen. All right, you're just gonna buy it anyways. All right? Let's just move on. All right. That was more ranty and I was like, hey, we're going to do a shorter one today for me. And I want to be ranty and shitty. Alrighty. I got my driver's license. So that's exciting. I'm officially an Illinois voter. So that's cool. Going to the DMV. This was the quickest DMV I've ever been to. It's a big city, third largest city in the world. Fastest DMV I've ever been a part of. I was in and out under an hour and a half, maybe. Like, otherwise you'd have to, and it's a city, and I'm switching my stuff. Like in Wisconsin, it took me just as long, and I'm in like the fucking suburbs. That's that. We'll probably come back to that one later. And we'll just do this one to wrap her up. I've been having a good time in Chicago, Illinois. And I still need to, like, get a job and shit. Like, that's fine. We've got money saved up. We're not worried about rent for, like, a while. So, like, we've got money to live. We're fine. We're kicking it. We got shows coming. So don't, like, make it, like, there are times when I'll say things and it sounds like a plea for money. Now, send me money. I'm not going to tell you not to send me money. That'd be great. I mean, money makes the world go round. And the more money I have, the less I have to do. But, like, we're fine. Like, I still have to find a job. I still have to, like, get into a routine of some sort that's, like, not just, like, gallivanting around town when I want to, going, hitting a quick open mic, and then coming home, and then smoking weed all night. Which, it's a good life. I'm not, like, pissed about it at all. It's just we need some structure. I started working out again. I've been running again. That's been nice. I sweat all the time for no reason, just because, like, my body's, like, actually metabolizing things again, which is great. But, again, annoying. I don't want to be sweaty, especially when it's, like, it's only, like, 75 degrees out right now. 78. I don't know. It's going to get 81 degrees today. A little high humidity, but like nothing crazy. Nice little breeze. Big weather podcast today. But I'm sweating my dick off right now. And it's not even hot in here compared to yesterday. It's just I'm metabolizing things again. And my muscles are working correctly. So now I sweat because my body's creating heat and burning off fat. And like, so I'm getting into, like, I'm building new healthy habits. It'd be nice to, like, get work so I know where that's going to fit in the schedule. Because right now it's like, oh, I can go, it's 1:37 in the afternoon. I'm feeling a little anxious. Let's go for a jog to wear off some of this cortisol. You know, like, we can do that. Oh, it is, like, yesterday. It was, like, 3:15. And I was like, I'm just going to go downstairs. Or no, it was earlier than that. Hold on. Because she was in her meeting. Let's say it's 10:30. Oh, it's 10:30. Let's go rip a workout real quick, okay? Like, I went downstairs, lifted some weights for a little bit, and then just got on with my day. It was nice. Like, but there's no routine to it. There's not like, hey, this is what I'm going to do this day. This is what I'm going to do this day. I have to go here, here, and here. It's like, oh, we can go here now. We can go here now. We can do this now. Like, it's not like we don't have to plan anything. And it's, like, nice, but it's also, like, all right, we need, like, how long is that sustainable for? Not very long. But one of the things is, like, one of my fun nightly routines now, and since weed's legal in Chicago because it's America in 2024, unlike other places where it's, like, not America in 1997, like, weed's illegal in a lot of places, which is stupid. but it's legal now. So I just have like a pre-roll, like a little tiny short one, but I'll get off the train on my way back from the open mic, get to the street corner, light it up, and then smoke my joint on the way home. And it's a nice little walk. It's great. By the time I'm home, I'm nice and toasted. I get in the house, everybody's happier because I'm like, I just did a mic, so I got to talk. I got a nice little walk in because it's like a half mile from the metro, plus walking there and back. Like, you get to go see the world. You're doing stuff. You're happy. It's like your nightcap. It's the end of the day. We can settle in. Everybody's happy. Everything's good. But like the problem is like I'm like it's lowering my inhibitions, and like even though I'm big city right now, I have to remember that I'm in a city where like bad things can happen, and you can't just like talk to everybody, and you can't just like trust things on the ground. Because I was like walking home, and again, like pretty high, and I see like the like little gold like party size Milky Way like wrappers on the ground, and I'm like, ooh, when's the last time I had a Milky Way? And there's a pile of Milky Way right on the fucking ground. Like, how lucky for me. And I had to like stop myself from bending over and picking up ground candy. It doesn't, like, I don't eat candy off the ground, but now that I'm like in a place where I'm happy and I'm like being able to like move about town and like be myself and not have to like worry about what some fucking idiots are saying, because there's other idiots who like it, you know what I mean? Like, because of stuff like that, I can just kick it and I'm having fun, and I'm like, the world is my oyster, and we're like doing good, and big life, big city. And then it's like, and there's fucking candy everywhere. The streets are paved with gold wrappered candy. I can just pick up candy and eat it. And I had to be like, no, you fuck, like, to myself, I had to be like, no, you fucking idiot, you don't pick up candy off of the ground. And that's not where I was expecting to be as a 34-year-old man. Just because I've been in a city for 2 weeks, I think that like life is gumdrops and lollipops and there's candy on the street and we can just like we can like pick up candy off the ground. And I didn't. I stopped myself, and then I texted Ashley like, hey, just had to stop myself from picking up candy off the ground. And I shouldn't have to do that. I shouldn't have to tattle on myself and report myself for things like that. But I think somebody needs to know so they can like watch out for me and make sure that like I'm not just letting that slip. So I don't know, maybe don't, hey, this is a big rule, don't pick up candy off the ground. And like, I've been picking up trash off the ground to try to throw it away places, and maybe that's why there's so much litter everywhere, is there's not enough trash cans, and the trash cans that we do have in the city aren't emptied enough, so maybe pay taxes so we can pay people to empty those trash cans so there's not litter everywhere. But I'll like pick up garbage and try to throw it away places, and then it looks like I'm an asshole when I'll pick up a piece of litter and then like carry it for like half a mile and then be like, well, there's no trash can and I'm not carrying this anymore. So then I throw it on the ground so that I look like, and it's like it's a net zero. Like, I'm just throwing on the ground. Like, I don't like it either. I'm not a person who likes that, but like, the person shouldn't have thrown it on the ground in the first place. I was trying to do something good, and we can't do that. Like, we can't, like, there's not enough trash cans to do something good. So, I don't know. So, maybe that's what it was I was like, oh, this is litter. I'm happy. I'm in a place where, like, all the world's an oyster for me. We need to leave it better than we found it. Like, life's a campsite. Leave it better than you found it. And then I was like, okay, cool. I'll get this candy wrappers and I'll throw them away. And then I was like, ooh, candy. I'm going to eat. And then I had to be like, no, Ray, you're in the city. You want to be perfect, and you want to be, not perfect, but like you want to be nice and you want to do good things. But like sometimes it's not the right time to do good things. Sometimes it's time to forget that there's candy on the street and get yourself home, okay? You don't need to argue with old ladies. You don't need to win that battle, okay? You don't need to leave the world a better place by teaching that old lady not to be rude to people in public. Maybe she's just an old bitch, okay? Let her be an old bitch and let the world go on. That was a test for you to make sure you're okay, and you failed. Maybe you didn't fail, but like you just moved on. Don't pick up ground candy, all right? You passed the test. You almost did it. You wanted to, but then you didn't. All right? And I think that's what we need to do, is just treat so many things like ground candy. You know it looks good. It's perfect. All you want is ground candy all the time. If you walked outside your apartment and there was just free candy on the ground every day, what are you going to do? You're going to pick up some ground candy from time to time. But do you know what? Ground candy's bad for you. And we're going to not eat ground candy. All right? We're going to do the hard thing. Work hard, go to the store and buy candy that was on the ground at some point, but then they put into a box. So then you can pretend that it's good, like when you buy Nikes from slave labor. Snake eating its own tail podcast. See, it always seems like nonsense until it comes back together. And yeah, was it nonsense and it just happened to come back together? Sure. But I mean, that's what you're paying for, folks. But no, that's exciting. We'll call that a day. whoisrayroberts.com for dates, etc. I just updated it the other day, so those are all updated. I get paid an extra amount of money for saying update how many times in 30 seconds. At whoisrayroberts on everything. Like, subscribe, share the podcast. More people are listening. That's cool. So if you like it, share it. If you don't like it, tell your least favorite friend about it. Have them waste their time with something that you don't like. So let's keep this ball rolling. It's fun. I'm at we can do dates, because like it's not stupid to do them now, because I actually have dates coming up. Skyline this weekend, Appleton. So if you're around, I've been from Wisconsin for such a long time. Hopefully you still remember me. Doing Skyline this weekend, just hosting, but that'll still be fun. Jokes on Division at Butch McGuire's in Chicago, Illinois, next Monday, 9 o'clock. Don't know how much it costs. Doing an apartment show that Friday. August, we're in the Drunken Bean on the 6th. Zanies on the 19th. Yeah, that's right. Doing a set of Zanies again. Trying to get back in the fold there. Fucking Christ. It's been 2 years since I've worked there. But now that I live here, that'll be good. Then I'm in St. Paul at the end of August. September. I need more dates. If you run a show, book me. That'd be cool. Couple things in Michigan. In September, Summit City again in September, Harris, Michigan at the end of September, October back in Michigan for something, Comedy Cabin at the end of October. So, I mean, we got stuff. We're working. Go to the website. It'll be a good time. I'm having fun. Doing short sets is fun. I can be, like, ridiculous, but doing longer time is a little bit tougher now because I have to, like, actually work to get booked and stuff. So, come see longer sets. It's more fun that way, and I don't know. It's a good time. But at Who is Ray Roberts, whoisrayroberts.com. Thank y'all so much.